Hi, you're watching India Post Live. I'm Shivraj, and today we're talking about what's hot in the fashion trends of the summer and spring. You can join in on the conversation by logging on to our website, indiapostlive.com. Share your comments, and we will play them out during this conversation. You can also tweet with us and keep the conversation going. #IndiaPostLive. Right, it's a season of heat, and the runways are already buzzed with 2 fashion weeks gown, floral prints, flowy gowns. Crop tops, golden accessories, and pretty footwear are really hot this summer. But for men, the season is about printed pants, jackets, and suits. We asked summer students of NIFT what they thought. Take a look.
We don't see comfort. No. It's all about fashion. It's all about being awkward, being different.
Always fashion over comfort.
Well, is that so?
No, first comfort. Comfort, then fashion.
So what is summer fashion all about? Is comfort only a male factor?
It's actually both. I would say because wearability is one of the major factors that we take care of. It depends which event you're attending.
Yeah. The Indian summer has it all. Harsh sun, humidity and pollution. So how do we tone the heat down?
White is always like the perfect color for the season.
Baggy pants, hot pants and skirts, short skirts this summer.
Summer, you can wear all those flowy gowns and then obviously crop tops.
Trending is all about the long dresses this time.
And no, I think you can experiment with a lot of colors this season.
And what about men? The observation is that men either dress too sloppily or overdo it. How exactly should it go for them?
About men's, it's all about the Italian shirts, slim fits, colored trousers.
Men. There's a lot of prints that's happening this season for men.
Okay, so while that is taken care of, let's see what goes with what.
You can just go for a plain all over the attire and accessorize yourself with a very good neck pieces on the earrings.
A lot of golden accessories.
Leather accessories, hand bands are always in.
Headgears all the way.
And lovely ladies, makeup?
Pride lip color, like the one I'm wearing.
So makeup, very light makeup, like everything very light.
Summers do bring in those bad hair days. How do we do away with those?
What type of a hair you want to go for? You want to go for a braids, you want to go for a ponytail, you want to go for the loose hair. You go with just 2 bobby pins and that's like complete in this time.
Like my hair, I have very long hair. But I would like to have a bob, like a bob and a fringe.
Dip dye was in. I think people are still continuing with dip dye.
Now that all is taken care of, are you fashion ready this summer?
So you can see that on the fashion meter, I'm rather vanilla. Well, joining us in this conversation is Editor-in-Chief of Marie Claire, Nina Haridas. Thank you for joining us in studio. Also via Google Hangout, we have from Shillong, Daime Bandabla, who's an accessory and jewelry designer. And Nidhi Tel from Delhi as well is joining us on the conversation. Now, Nina, there's this whole debate. I mean, we've had 2 fashion weeks. There have been obviously a lot of new things thrown up in the air in terms of what's working this summer and spring and what's not. But you just saw in that report that a lot of people are saying that it's not about comfort. It still has to be about looking fashionable.
I think it's rubbish.
Okay.
If you have, why do you think fashion is this alien creature that landed from some other planet and you can only interact with them if you are uncomfortable and you cannot feel comfortable in what you wear? Globally, I mean, having come from one of the magazines that works in this fashion industry, there are many trends that are picked from the season's collections, and then there are micro trends, and then there are micro trends. Now, are you telling me that you are going to be uncomfortable in any of this? And if what you're wearing and you call that fashion is making you uncomfortable, then it is certainly not fashion. It's just that you're a victim of fashion. So
it's just gimmicky then.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's probably you want to make this huge, I don't know what the purpose would be to wear uncomfortable clothes to become or look fashionable. So I completely disagree and rubbish that statement.
Okay, we're going to come back to you to give us a sense of the trends, but let's go across to Nidhi, who is a nutritionist, a fitness counselor, and has worked with a lot of women. Nidhi, the question that we're asking is how important is comfort and still looking good while being comfortable?
I beg your pardon, your voice is breaking. Can you repeat the question?
Sure, Nidhi, what we were asking is how important is it to be comfortable wearing fashionable clothes?
I guess comfort comes at the top of the priority list because women today are working outside, inside homes. So whatever they wear has to be comfortable and yet fashionable. They should look trendy. They should feel good about themselves. But at the same time, I see around, women walking in still toes and they're barely able to maintain their gait. So that, kind of comes across as not so good thing. So I would first like to know what are the trends this summer which women can opt for while they are working everywhere around and yet feel comfortable.
And Nidhi, we were discussing earlier when we were setting up on the show that a lot of women that you work with who have challenged with their weight, they tend to dress a little offbeat. And what sort of, I mean, because the summer trends thrown up this season is about floral prints, flowing gowns. Those work. So, what are the kind of challenges you face when you talk to women with those issues?
In general, see, the problem area for mostly Indian women is their abdominal portion. The android kind of obesity, where that apple kind of figure they try to camouflage by wearing, below the waist they're thin and lean, but with the hanging abdomen, what kind of tees or tops or even if they're wearing suits to opt for, so that I can suggest them and they feel good about it and they can be part of the fashion race although they are overweight.
Okay. So Nina, just coming back, you very mootly pointed out that Marie Claire spans the globe. There's a lot happening globally.
I don't just mean Marie Claire.
Yeah.
All fashion
Sure.
magazines
But
across the world.
But from a Marie Claire perspective, taking a view of all the fashion trends being thrown up for this season.
Absolutely.
What really stands out? Because you said there were micro trends and there were trends, but what stands out, from a global perspective? Because I know a lot of global fashion houses are traveling everywhere.
Absolutely.
And they read Marie Claire and they get those tips. And also from an India perspective, what's really working this season? Or what's really being thrown up as the next big thing?
There are many things, and I think the good part is that there is, this season has been particularly kind to all shapes.
Right.
So you have, say, the black dress, which is the classic. No one can go wrong with that, no matter what your shape is. There is always a black dress that comes that suits your personality, your body. And from that classic, you also have the urban sport, which is young, easy to wear, hide your flab if you want to, and if you have a beautiful body, you can show that in your
and the
urban
fact that you
sport
can wear
as well.
nice bright colors, pink is the new floral and all that.
Yeah,
that works,
the
right?
florals are in, the lame is in, and I saw a particularly a well rounded girl yesterday wearing a lame sari. I thought that was splendid. She carried it off so well, and one wouldn't think lame as a fabric that would actually be so convenient for a woman who others say are not well shaped, which I actually do not believe, because I think all shapes we all come with our shapes, and we have to learn to adjust to that, and as we go along and wear, and do not consider fashion as this trend. Like I'm sorry, I have to disagree with one point, that fashion is not a race. You know, it is just what you have
what
to pick up.
works.
Yeah, it is just that you have to wear clothes. People out there in the world are making clothes, shoes, and all of it comes from a much larger universe. It's not that someone is just sitting and making just sketches.
Sure. And the end objective of every fashion designer showcasing at any of these ramps is to get those international buyers to pick them up, right?
Yes, but the international designers are only showcasing what is their idea.
Right.
Now from there, the collection that goes onto the stores and then what precipitates down to your Zara and your H&M are the ones that you and I would buy and wear. Also, the collection that you buy from international designers, they are not unwearable. It's just unwearable. So it's just a question of, you know, you don't go and wear what's seen on the ramp. The ramp is for a select audience. It's for the international design or any designer to show them what their thought process for the season is, and the fashion journalists pick up from that, and the trends are then derived from it. It takes about 6 months to derive the trends out of the season that you've just seen. I mean, we are currently working on the season for the winter.
Right.
You know, so it's that process. So people who think that what they see on the ramp is what fashion is not right. It's then cut to size, if I mean for lack of a better word, to suit normal regular people like you and me.
Absolutely. And the second aspect is, of course, the accessories are very important. And
yes.
we're joined
I
by
have
Daime.
no idea how to wear accessories.
Okay, Daime, we're going to ask you that question. I think Nina's thrown up an interesting point in the conversation. How do you wear accessories? What's trending from your perspective as a budding jewelry designer?
I believe now it's more of pastel colors, floral colors. Neon is very in right now because it's a season, summer, and yes, pearls is like very in, very trending. You know, you see in Chanel and every jewelry designers is into pearls. Pearls is quite trending right now also, which you can use it for evening wears, maybe for a formal party or something. But neon and all would be more of fun, casual, and yes, with spikes and all that. And basically, pastel colors are very summery right now. And yeah, and trending, just like the lady from Marie Claire, I did not get her name, I'm sorry.
Nina.
She has mentioned, Nina, yeah. She's mentioned that, trending is through magazines and all that. They usually show what are trendy, and it kind of like everybody follows it. And yeah, it's mostly pastel colors. And I see people, going for a lot of uh, peach. Peach is very in, and then orange, the bright colors, blues
Yes.
and peach. Yeah.
Okay. So, Nina, interestingly, what's trending online is the fact that orange is the new black.
That's the show.
You don't agree?
Well, yes, or actually, all plastic neons are it's the plastic chic that's the trend. So orange, yellow, green are the colors that are popping out.
And it's soothing as well.
And soothing, it's summery. It works with shoes. It works with bags. Like in bags now, one of the biggest trends now is to actually match your outfit exactly with the bag. So it's the same. It's the same print. So that's an interesting trend that I saw this year.
And of course, bags and clutches are becoming big. Fringes in.
The fringes in, whites are majorly back in, and I mean, I don't know if I can show this to you, but it could probably
maybe you
help
can just
you.
hold it up to there.
Okay.
Okay.
There. All right. Like, so if you were going to go for
Plastic chic.
Yeah. So this is, you use, this is the way your shoe works or yeah, and this is the one of the trends which our
Danny
friend
said,
there,
yes.
yeah, Danny was mentioning about white. So this the gold, the western, which of course the fringes, which is hardly going to make a big dent in India, but thankfully the jewels are back globally, so I think Indians are going to be very happy. And this whole African remix is big because embroidery, beads, think and don't think the hardcore African, but it's just a remix of all the traditional African art that's coming back in accessories, clothes, whatever. But like if you and yes, small accessories in jewelry, I'm sure the stacked cuffs are what you're working on right now. It's really the hot trends among everybody. Architecture, shoes, which when you say, I heard one of our guests saying that how do you walk in heels? Well, I have two answers. I have terrible feet and I find it difficult to walk in heels. One is choose a heel that suits your body structure and posture and the height, and there are accessories that can help you smoothen and soothen your feet. So it's not that difficult to wear heels, and I think you just need to choose your right height. Like this is really my favorite. I don't think I'm going to wear this, but I think it's interesting because
It's very buzzy with a lot of print.
yes, it's just that this is your outfit and this is your bag. So where is it? It's just merging into each other. I think this is like really the new trend that's come up, because most of the time the trends are just passing on and just is evolving. But I think this is really new, and the platforms are on, because this whole urban spotty thing is big. So it's reflecting in all your other in your accessories and in your clothes and everything, in all your other fashion parts. So if you're girly, you have flowers. If you are, and of course, the great androgynous look is as always in trend, whether you call it today casual man or you want to call it ever since poor old YSL started the tuxedo dress, we've never let that go. So
in fact, that's interesting because I just got a tweet
Yeah.
from Ankit saying
Yeah.
men versus women, who wins it hands down when it comes to the summer fashion trends? Because apparently with the men now, it's all about printed jackets,
Yeah.
floral. So are we going beyond just what we thought were metrosexual to men now actually jumping on?
And I really think that's true, because fashion, I think, of all the things in the world, is the only one that has managed to actually cross the gender inequality barrier. You have men, Andre, who shows for Lagerfeld and Jean-Paul Gaultier for their couture collection. He's a man. He's the showstopper for the women's collection.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then there is Leah, who is a man and not a transgender or anything. He's a man who has a beautiful body, and he wears women's clothes for all these big designers on the ramp, and I've seen them, and you couldn't tell that nobody could tell it was a man. So actually I think fashion has crossed that gender inequality, gender dialogue there. Men and women are wearing each other's clothes, and there is not a single, I would love to go see a season when androgyny is not part of women's trend, which is good. Actually, it helps you go in
all over
your
the place.
yeah.
Get adventurous.
Well, actually, no. It keeps you in your jeans and your jackets very comfortably.
Tweak here and giving it real style.
Yeah, that's it. So you don't really have to go and change everything in your wardrobe, because obviously you have a few jackets and your pair of trousers. So you just tweak a little bit and you're in.
Okay, and I'm just going to get Daime in, because Daime, from an accessories point of view, what's really from your collection standing out? And have you managed to also see some men interested in the kind of work that you're doing? I don't think Daime can hear me, but interesting you said that about the whole androgynous look. Yesterday, I saw someone wearing a houndstooth jacket, but with shorts, and looking extremely stylish, but stood out. So is that the new trend? Because, reading a lot online, one got a sense that you used to normally typecast.
Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man, looking very smart. So what, in terms of men's fashion, is working this time?
Oh, well, I really don't pay attention to men's fashion.
Surely I'm not in that category.
However, since you've put me in the corner, I think they are, you see, I'll tell you. See, women's fashion has got so much attention, and I feel that men are only now coming out and beginning to experiment.
Right.
So whether it's print, florals,
double-breasted jackets are back.
Double, oh God, okay. God help us. But I think now men are beginning to experiment, and we feel that so much more because we are in India, and where this was really not happening. So now when you see in fashion weeks where they are making their statements with these oddball combinations, which is interesting, but the fact that men are out there, I think the reason is because now finally men are getting their chance out in the spotlight, and good for them.
So Demi, I was just asking you before we lost you in between, from your collection, how much interest has there been also from men to look at what you've got designed?
I'm also, I focus mainly on women jewelry. Well, for men, I've done a few. They go for leather, spikes, more of spikes and a rugged look, like a simple pendant like an anchor or a skull and all that. Those are something that men look for. Yes, but there are some bold men that go for gold jewelry, like big chunky jewelry and all that. But those are mostly youngsters, kind of influenced by hip hop and R&B. Yeah, so mostly that.
And Nidhi, when you counsel your patients, have you seen any men also sort of pick up on wanting to look at new ways of carrying themselves off with fashion?
Well, I would put it this way, that people are now getting very, very fitness conscious, just because they want to follow the fashion trends. They want to be in their shape. They want to be the size, the best size according to their height, and they want to live a good lifestyle, which includes fashion.
All right, thank you. So Nina, the other thing is makeup. Okay, suddenly now, what makeup was just something that dressed someone up has become the colors, the new styles. All the international brands in India are sort of selling the new bright orange, the pink, the luscious red. How much of that is really seeing an uptake in a market like this?
I don't think the luscious red will ever go out of India. Yes, orange is in.
And
eyebrows.
Men are also wearing makeup now.
Oh yes, of course, and I think they should, especially if they have if they're into a profession where looking good is part of the the image, or when you walk into a business meeting looking good, I'm sure it has an advantage.
Absolutely.
Okay, whether you are this whole, I want to break this, and can I please use this platform to break this myth that fashion is not just for people who work in fashion.
Sure.
It is for people who work in corporate houses. It is for people who work in schools, who work in any profession. And you have to look good, not because you don't. And I'm saying,
And we're in a globalized world, so
and I'm
you are
saying the
exposed.
word look good and not fashionable or trendy, because I despise those terms, because it alienates so many other people. Because the minute you say fashion and trend, they get frightened. So, oh my God, I'm not in trend. Even I go through that phase. But so all of us do. And I was asking, like, is it okay to wear a t-shirt and come and like this season the slogan t-shirt is big, because you see fashion is moving out of this just being a girl's little dream in her bedroom to a much larger cause. Fashion is taking up, you have jeans that are being sold which uses less water, you have t-shirts which are making a statement. This t-shirt helps women in Bangladesh who work in rainforests. I mean, everything that we worked with Vivienne Westwood to create a collection which was entirely to protect, to take the cause further of the rainforest and the women who work in rainforests and don't
And it's a
earn
very
very
interesting
well.
point.
So, yeah, please.
Because I think, Nidhi, very interestingly, Nina's thrown up the fact that fashion is now traversing different social causes. They're tying in with a message. It's about a statement. So do you feel that it's becoming less about the self-image and more about that? Do you see people now maybe jumping on because they see it as something that is useful and still smart, but not about them just looking good?
It is self-flattering in any which way.
Sure. It gives them something to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, yeah.
Hello?
So I think, so Nidhi is saying that, it is about self-flattering, but also, like you pointed out, the whole lot of...
What is about self-flattering?
To be able to talk about the clothes that they're wearing and associated with causes that you just mentioned.
No, it's not self-flattering. There is money.
Right.
There is big money that is
No, but
going
people
into
wearing them
people.
could have something to talk about as well, rather than
Yeah,
just
of
about
course.
bland
That's the whole
self-image.
idea. How else are we
Sure.
going to make money out of it?
Right.
To give it to somebody. I mean, once you're doing a cause or making a statement, it has to reach out to the masses, right? That's the whole point of doing it.
And it's moving beyond the old way of fashion only being for people who look good, but it's also about people who are conscious about global issues, about trends and everything.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because this whole idea that fashion is about vanity is not correct. You want to look good. Now, you looked good even when you didn't have the Armanis and the Vivienne Westwoods in your next door neighborhood mall. You looked good in whatever you were wearing. You just seem to have more choice now. So it's not that fashion wasn't then, and my mother had polka dot saris, and this season polka dots are big. Yeah. Okay. So when she was 23, she was wearing polka dots. So what I'm saying is that, so for generations we've always been conscious of self-image, and vanity, of course, is not a sin according to me. I hope so. People agree. I mean, do you think wanting to look decent is a sin? No. So, but today, with all that you have, this great setup of television, web television, to some extent, publishing houses, fashion has the ability to reach out to a lot more people. It's not just the prerogative of the rich.
Absolutely.
So now, with a t-shirt, which in a Zara costs 650, I mean, the girl who buys it may not necessarily understand why she must save rainforest. I'm not saying that is what she's going to do, but she's reading it and she's getting that word rainforest into her head, and that's enough. That's a start. So I don't want to just say that fashion is only about looking good and looking about self image, which is, yes, important, necessary, a part of our professional life. Back home, get into your pajamas, but wouldn't you buy the nicest pajamas
as well? Yeah. And so, Demi, also from an accessory point of view, there's so many options, and Nina very nicely showed us a few trends. The Indian motif is back, jewelry is big again, the African sort of style is back. What is working from your perspective now?
A lot of necklaces like waterfall necklaces. They're very chunky. I'm wearing one right now. I don't know if you can see.
Nice.
The bib necklaces are very in right now, and yeah, it's called statement necklace. It makes a statement. Sometimes with a simple top, you can just wear a statement necklace, and that's it. It adds up glamour to your outfit, you know. And people are going more for statement necklaces, not like the the one strand necklace. Multi-strand chains are very in, big chunky chains in gold, silver, black, whatever. And yeah, pretty much that. And yes, just like Nina mentioned, that the tribal prints are very in, stripes, lines in colors. They use it in belts, and mostly the ones that you see in friendship bands, those are, they use them in belts and even in
And Demi,
bib
from your
necklaces.
perspective, from Shillong, what is working as a recipient of the new trends and fashion that's out there? What's working for you apart from just the accessories, the style, the clothing? What is working for you on the ground?
Yes, Shillong is a very fashionable city, and they go for mostly colored shirts are very in right now. Shirts in all kinds of floral colors, and then they team them up with shorts, and denim is very in right now, and uh, pretty much the whites for summers. And Shillong, it's not so cool, like hot. It's not. It's a
Right.
very moderate climate. Very, so a light jacket, light sweaters, stripes are very in. Um, yeah, pretty much that. That's what can come to my mind right now.
Okay. And Nidhi, last words from you. I think the options are so much. I mean, there are so many options out there. Nina pointed out how, there are so many fashion houses. You can go across to the mall and buy things. Is that helping the cause of the kind of patients that you're meeting who want to have access to different styles and trends as well?
See, we don't have brands here like, we have Benetton and not much actually. But mostly, I think online shopping has also played a major role in, getting those trends and, fashionable clothes like from Forever 21 or whatever.
Okay.
We don't have much of, but there are a lot of, what do you call this? Thailand made,
Okay.
imitations. They're good enough and works for me. Well, pretty much that. But yes, people here are very trendy. They're very fashionable, and they would wear. See, it's also about comfort.
Yes.
You think you look good in your grandma's wardrobe, you would carry it well, and that being comfortable is also very important to look good.
Okay.
India is actually not as blessed as you guys in Shillong in fashion. I envy you guys. You look good in anything.
Thank you, thank you.
So last words from you, Nina. What's working, what's not this summer? It's going to be a very hot summer, and while we might have Shillong that escapes the heat,
Yeah.
what will work in the rest of the hot and sort of really dusty summer?
I think we have lots of white. We have a lot of embroideries, which is airy, which is easy to wear. You have quite a bit of sporty wear, which should be I mean, you
Yeah,
can
and
make it
fitness
as
is in.
yeah. So and no, I don't mean sporty by just saying
Yeah, but
fitness
it's a statement you're making.
Yeah, but it gives you much better. I mean, I just wanted to give you an example. I'm not saying tights and those gym clothes, but the easy wear. So
casual, but yet
stylish. So
stylish.
you have the platforms, you have necklaces that can be chunky or dainty as you wish to do, and there is also how do I put it, the see-through fabric that is really doing well. The slits are back, the Angelina Jolie slits are back. So I think with all these in your with at least some of these in your wardrobe, I think you would be fashionable and comfortable.
Perfect.
So it's just that when you're going shopping, don't pick the Hervé Leisure if you're not going to fit into it.
Absolutely.
That's what makes fashion uncomfortable. Yes. So there's lots out there to pick.
It's a wide canvas. Thank you so much, Nina, for joining us in studio. Thank you, Demi and Nidhi, for joining us on Google Hangout. You can also continue to have these conversations by logging on to our website, indiapostlive.com. Continue tweeting with us, #IndiaPostLive. Thank you for watching.